Welcome back to First Impression Friday. We are looking at another indie pattern today, and this week we're going to take a look at paper theory. I don't know a lot about paper theory. I think that they are not in the United States, and I think that there's one pattern that came out recently that I'm familiar with, a jumpsuit pattern. So let's learn a lot more about them and take a look at their patterns. Create a sustainable wardrobe with paper theory sewing patterns. Cut for you by a skilled industry professional. That's nice. Nice to say that, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you just assume that, but is that really what it is? So you can create a contemporary, sustainable wardrobe that fits like it should and doesn't cost the earth, all from the comfort of your sewing machine. Okay, that's great. I love it fits like it should and doesn't cost the earth. That sounds wonderful. Yeah, view our latest pattern, the Zadie Jumpsuit. I've seen so many people make the Zadie. There's so many different body types too. And it always looks really good on all of them. So we'll take a look at that here in a minute. But then they have tutorials and a blog and testimonials. That's nice. It looks like they have 9 of them. Oh no, just, what was that, 6, 7 of them. Cute. Okay. The pattern cutter behind Paper Theory. Hi, I'm Tara. I'm originally from the Cook Islands, but I grew up in New Zealand. Is Cook Islands in Australia? I'm so bad at geography. I've been living in London, working as a pattern cutter for 12 years. Wow. Working for famous fashion brands. That's fun. All right, and then here's their Instagram. Great. Okay, let's go to about us, slowing fashion down. Wow, there's a lot of information here. Okay. Talking about high fashion and slow fashion, fast fashion, guilt-free conscious, can be time-consuming. Paper Theory was created in a quest to help those who want to check out the fast fashion system but don't want to check out of fashion altogether. That's very well said. Okay. We love fashion. We want to express ourselves. We don't want to be forced into leaving fashion behind in order to lead ethical lives. Okay. Read more in the blog. Okay. Paper Theory patterns are simple in style, clean modern silhouettes, referencing modernist design, and heavily inspired by the workshop wardrobes of the most prominent female painters, sculptors, writers, and crafters of our time. Wow. Okay, then more about Tara. Okay. What else is in this little about? We're going to get to the pattern collection in a second. Let's see what's in the FAQs. Okay, FAQs about PDF patterns. A little bit of troubleshooting. Pattern information. So seam allowances are included. They draft for a person who's 5'7", and that's clearly stated right here. I love that. What cup size do you draft for? Generally speaking, I draft my sample pattern for a size 14 person. Now, is that 14 ready to wear or 14 in sewing patterns? I'm guessing ready to wear with a C cup. Then I have my patterns professionally graded down to a size 6 and up to a size 20. Now, I can't remember, I've heard people talk about, grading patterns down and grading patterns up and how many sizes that range should be. And I can't remember if 6 to 14 and then 14 to 20 is within that range. I'm guessing if she's professional, she probably knows what's up. But then she says here, at size 20, I refit my base pattern, again, on a person with a D cup and grade up to a size 28. So she does, at some point, start with a new base, which I've heard from other industry professionals is the right way to do it, rather than just starting at 14 and going all the way down to 0, and then starting at 14 and go all the way up to 28. She does refit at some point, so that's good. Relaxed, oversized fit. Cup size isn't that important. All right. People who regularly make full bust adjustments or small bust adjustments for other pattern companies find they do not need to do so with our patterns if they are within 2 cup sizes, either up or down. That's cool. Okay. And then printing your size. Can I teach your class? Can I sell your patterns? Can I sell items made? Okay. All right, and then we'll just briefly go through the little learn section. Let's see what kind of tutorials she's got. A sew along for the Olya Shirt. How to sew knickers, swimsuits, refashioning, how to sew right angles. That could be very interesting. Tips for lengthening, how to create a neckband, and what's the difference between a frill and a flounce. Okay. I'm surprised there aren't more sew-alongs, but, and then in the blog, what's in here? So the blog hasn't been updated since 2018, so a couple years. All right, let's go to shopping. What's in workshops? Absolute beginners. Oh, she actually has in-person workshops. That's cool. Both of these are sold out. But keep an eye out, I guess, if you're in the London area. Does the sizing information have all paper theory patterns are currently available 6 to 20. Some go up to 28. Currently, everything but the Olya shirt is in the full size range. And then these are the body measurements. So from a 31 and a half bust up to 56. I would be roughly a 12, which is about where it is in Big 4. Waist is 24 to 47 and a half. And I would be, so I'm going from a 12 to an 18 already. And then hip is 34 up to 57. So yeah, I'd be 12, 18, 20, just roughly. So this 12 to 18 makes me nervous. Okay. And then here, I guess, is the size conversion from ready to wear to her sewing patterns. Okay, and then there's information about that. If you're confused about how body measurement charts and garment measurement charts, you can read about that. Then there's the same information about the height and cups, where to take your measurements. I love this illustration. I know that this may not jump out at a lot of you, but for me, it's like, I kind of appreciate that she has like a little bit of a, she's not perfectly drawn without any, lumps and bumps and stuff. Like, she's got this little thing that I know drives all of us mad. So that's cool. I don't know if she drew that herself or what, but, and of course I love her top knot. Okay. All right. Let's get to the patterns already. Okay, 6 sewing patterns it looks like. We have the Miller trouser PDF pattern. Let's take a look at the pants. Here are 4 models, seemingly all different body types and sizes, which is great. The Miller trousers are a relaxed and easy to wear trouser that comes with the option of an elasticated or tie waist. They're designed to sit high on your natural waist above your belly button. I think that's a nice distinction. I think a lot of people think natural waist is either at the belly button or maybe even below it. But you can see here, her belly button is completely hidden. The silhouette is full around the hip with a pleat in the front leg for extra fullness and deep side pockets. Okay. There's a dart in the back waist for extra shaping. The leg tapers inwards toward the ankle at the hem, creating a streamlined, slightly carrot-shaped. What do we think about clothing silhouettes described as food? I know we have like pear-shaped bodies, apple-shaped bodies. Is food just one of those things that people don't have like an emotional attachment to, so that's why they relate bodies to food and clothing shapes to food? Like, couldn't we just have said tapered? I'm not offended by it at all. It's just I've never seen carrot-shaped silhouette before. So I'm just wondering if that's like a thing we're moving toward, is describing clothes shapes as food. The finished length is just at the ankle bone, but they look great rolled up too. Okay, let's see if we can see these pictures. Oh, okay. So I have to scroll down and then back up for you guys to see the picture. So, oh Lord. There they all are from the side. I like the one with the tie a lot. I want to see more of this pocket. Yeah, it is a really big pocket. Can you see? It's like squared off, but I want to see the shape of the opening too. Very relaxed, very comfortable. I'm appreciating that all these side seams are perfectly straight. That's cute. Sorry about the zoom on her crotch. I'm trying to not do the zoom unintentionally. What a fun photo shoot. It looks like everyone was having a really good time. Great shape on her. Here you can see the darts, and the darts extend all the way up into the elastic casing. So I'm assuming the casing it's not a separate pattern piece. It gets folded inward and then top stitched, I think. These just don't show the pants very well. Hers seem like extra gathered in the front. Am I right? Yeah, hers seem a little, like the crotch is a little bit long. Like the crotch depth is too long, maybe? It's hard to tell. And I don't know if these samples were drafted specifically for these people, or if she just did a model call for someone about this, ready to wear size, and then made pants like that. Okay, so here's what I was looking for. The opening of the pockets. You can see here from the back clearly that if you are a curvy girl, when you have either side seam pockets or even sometimes the, angular slash pockets, you get this little bubble here. And it's such a nitpicky thing, but it really bothers me personally when I'm wearing clothes and I notice that the little pocket is creating these little bubbles. I hate that. I didn't notice it on anybody else. So it could be, the way that fabric behaved. It could be a lot of things. Like hers is okay. Like I'm not expecting there to be nothing, but I guess it is there on a lot of different people. Okay, so here's the line drawings. I don't know why it was hard for me to come up with that word. So yeah, they are the angular slash pockets, which are better than side seam pockets, I'll say. But if you're going to make this pattern, maybe work on like putting some stabilizer in there, or, you know, even like pinching out a little bit of this just to make sure they stay extra, extra flat around the curve. I think and I don't know exactly, but I think that the problem is that your body is curved here and this is perfectly straight. So I wonder if there's like a hack somewhere, if somebody's done like a tutorial or a lesson on how to prevent that. I'll look into that, and if I can find something, I'll let you guys know about it. And then these, I think, are the pleats. This is the pleat. Okay, and then here's the back. So those back darts are actually a lot longer than they seemed on that one model. These go down almost way past half of the like crotch depth of the back. Let's see if we can see them better somewhere. Yeah, they don't seem that long on. I mean, hers definitely stop right there. So the illustration exaggerates it a little bit. They make it seem like they come all the way down here, right? Which I actually prefer. I love a really deep dart, especially in the back, because I am so curvy. But that's something you can lengthen the dart if that's what you want to do. That's a pretty easy alteration. Okay, let's see what other information we have here. Techniques involved. Elasticated. Oh, that's why. Okay, so this version here that I said it looked really bunchy. That's because there's no elastic in here to distribute this fullness. It's all pulled in by this drawstring. So that, I think, is an important distinction, because I feel like the elasticated waist just looks cleaner. I'm sure you could still do the drawstring version and put elastic in there if you want. I just think this looks a little bit too much like I'm going to use the word trash bag. I don't mean that negatively, but you know, when you pull the drawstring at the top of a bag, you know, it's just kind of like not an organized chaos. It's just chaotic. Okay. So it is the easier construction method and suitable for a beginner. The channel at the waist with ties and bound buttonholes. Whoa. That's kind of cool. Oh, you can barely see them there. Wow, I really appreciate that, because a lot of these indie patterns, and even Big Four, will have you just do like a buttonhole on your sewing machine with the thread and stuff. This is like super professional and high end. So that's why that is a more advanced technique. Bound buttonholes are an advanced sewing technique, okay, and more suited to an intermediate sewer. However, you could replace the bound buttonholes with regular machine stitch buttonholes for easier construction. Yeah, either that, or like you can do grommets is another example. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think. No, I think that's probably it. Okay. Recommended fabrics, designed especially for woven. Medium to heavyweight fabrics like cotton and linen are great. In some heavier fabrics like drill. What's drill? I'm sure that is a British term, maybe. So all my Brits, please let me know what drill is. Is drill twill? It rhymes. And canvas or a lightweight denim. It would also make up well in some lighter fabrics that have draped quality, like wool crepe, viscose twill, so drill is not twill, or double gauze. You could also use jersey or sweatshirting fabric totally for secret pajamas. Okay. And then here's our sizing information. Oh, they give the measurements of the models and their height. Wow, okay. So Amber's bust measurements don't matter. No one's bust measurements matter. So I'm guessing this is hip and waist. So you find somebody that's similar to you. And you can see what they would look like on you. So none of these girls are exactly me. That would be too good to be true. Oh, and then they also say, based on, these are her sizes, and then oh my gosh. Okay, so what material her sample was made in, what size it was made in, and then they also give you the top that she's wearing and the size of the top. So that's great. I guess, yeah, I guess the person closest to me is Amber. Amber's the closest to a pear shape, I guess. So, but it's not exactly my measurements, and it's off by like, well, the hip is, the waist is off. My waist is a little bit bigger than hers. So that's really cool, though. I've been asking for Big Four to do that for so long. I'm like, I wish they would tell us, what kind of fabric the sample is in, which they have that here, and then also either the model's measurements or what size they made, which I think the measurements are actually, well, I don't know that the measurements matter that much exactly, but it is nice to see what someone who has these measurements, how that relates to her sizing chart. Okay, so here is the body measurement chart for these pants, I'm guessing. Maybe it's the same across all patterns, but so waist and hip body measurements. Let's go to inches. Sorry, peeps. Wait, there are no inches for the body measurement chart. Oh wait, yes there are. Sorry. Okay. So it's a first impression. I don't have it all figured out. Okay. 24 to 47 and a half is the waist. So if you go down, what does that mean? Waist stretched. That means without the elastic. So then this is really not that helpful. But they do have, what would that be? 9 inches of positive ease in the waist. So you're cinching it in by 9 inches. So this is really flexible because in the body measurement chart, oh wait, this is not the same as the other one. Remember I was a 12, or that was the bust. Okay, so yeah, I was an 18. Okay, so I would be an 18. I'd put in the elastic. It would cinch it in by 8 inches. Okay, cool. All right, hip, 34 to 57 and a half. And then, so 5.5 inches of ease in the hip, which is a little bit on the slim side. I think it can go up to 7, if I remember correctly. So 5.5 is definitely like a closer fitting hip. And I was supposed to be a 20 based on the body measurement chart. This is almost exactly my hip. So I would have the 5.5 inches of ease. Okay. Then they give you the rise. And the rise is crotch depth. So from the, like your true waist to your crotch level. So I don't have my crotch depth memorized. It might be 13 inches. That can't be right because this starts at 27. Wait. How is there a 27-inch rise? Something's not right. This should not be 27 inches. That's like 2 feet. That can't be right. I think something's off here. Yeah, it's got to be like in the teens. Okay. And then you get your inseam, and then you get the ankle opening, um, how big that circumference is. Okay. All right. Anything else? Pattern filed. Oh, do we get an AO? That's what I want to know. Yes. Okay, I love AO. I don't do this print at home and tape it all together. Okay, cool. I have a video for what it's worth on PDF patterns and how I do them. So you can look that up. I'll put it in the description box for you guys. You can see how I do it. Oh, and the prices. We didn't go over that. So this is, it converts to $16 for a pair of elasticated, like jogger type pants. Without, I want to point out, some of the pattern companies we reviewed in the beginning, like Helen's Closet, for example. I don't know how much were her patterns. I can't remember. Similar price, right? Maybe a little bit less even. And she had all the hacks and the sew-alongs and all of that. So you wouldn't get that kind of support. But then again, I don't really know what is in the actual pattern itself. Maybe the instruction booklet is very thorough where you wouldn't need a sew-along. So, but, okay. And then we've got the Zadie. This is the one that I've seen people making a lot lately. A lot. And it's looking really good on every one that I've seen. So, available in sizes 6 to 28. Zadie Jumpsuit is relaxed and easy to wear one piece that comes with the option of wide 3/4 length sleeves or sleeveless with a drop shoulder. It wraps around the body and fastens with a tie, so there's no need for buttons or a zipper, making it quick and easy and quick and easy to get on and off. The legs are cut wide and skim above the ankle. There are deep slant pockets on the front with small pleats at the waist on the front and back. The neck edge is finished with bias binding. Okay. So same slash pockets as the pants we just looked at before. Here's the short sleeve drop shoulder. The bias binding is visible, so they're using double fold. Here's the, and you know what? Looking at the line drawings, I can say I don't know that I would have chosen this long sleeve, but it looks really good here. I guess I didn't realize how slim it was, so I like that, and I love it in this denim, like a mid-weight chambray, I guess. I don't know what that is, but I love that it feels more substantial than regular chambray, This feels like a lightweight denim more than any kind of chambray, so that's really inspiring. Okay, here's a full length view. So here are the bodice pleat and the hip pleat. Here's that slash pocket, and you can see how generous it is. I mean, her whole wrist is in there. And then a super long tie, and then that's the finished length above the ankle. Okay. All right. Another good view of the front. Here's the tie. So it looks like this gets pulled around to her back and then back around again to meet up with some other tie that's, started somewhere else. I don't know. It's really hard to tell how these things come together, but you can see the shape of the front panel. Where does this go? Into her crotch? That one you can't even see it at all. Okay. Oh, here's the back, our first back view. So again, we've got some pleating, it looks like. This is very generous here. Very blousy. Very wide leg. That poor linen. Oh. Okay, here we go. Now we can see it in this more stable fabric really well. Yeah, I don't know where the rest of that thing disappears into. I like this finish better than the bias tape, though. I hope she talks about that. No feet, sorry. Can't really see much from that picture anyways. Ooh, I'm not so sure about that. Droopy bum. I think because this is pulled down so much. If this were more blousy through here like the orange one is, yeah, that's not very flattering. But the pocket looks a lot better on this one. Oh, here it is in a print. Oh, I love this print. See this, how this neckline is finished versus the other one? I like the other one better. The leg also looks slimmer too. Right? Oh, because they rolled them up, maybe? Okay. All right, here are our line drawings. So it looks like both of the versions that they show have the bias binding, but that denim one clearly had some kind of facing. So yeah, if I were going to make this, I would immediately check the length of the bodice and the length of the crotch depth so that you wouldn't get that billowing, droopy, diaper butt or the billowing at the lower back. I would try and make that as smooth as possible. Given that this is a, roomy jumpsuit and that you pull it in tight at the waist with the ties. So it can't be super fitted, especially because, there's only one way to get in. There's no zippers or anything. So you have to keep that in mind too. But I think that they could have done a little bit better of a job of eliminating some of that ease. Okay, techniques involved. Make your own bias binding, apply it to the neckline. You will also learn how to create a slant trouser pocket. The rest of the techniques are standard straight stitching and hemming. Huh. So they don't talk about this. I mean, it's clear as day that's a facing. Okay. Recommended fabric. Designed especially for woven, medium weight fabrics. This is almost exactly the same description as the last pattern. Oh, the binding technique around the neck is tricky in a stretch fabric, so be warned that that would take difficulty up a few notches. Advanced beginner, sizing information. Sizes 16, 18, 20 overlap between both size ranges. So you can still grade up or down easily if you're on the edge of a size range. Okay. The model here is 5'10", with a 34D bust. She's wearing a size 2 with 2 inches of length added to the legs of the hem. So they do make the samples specifically for the models. Huh. All right, let's look at body measurements. Are these the same? Finished garment measurements? These are not the same, so that's good. So the waist has 7 inches of ease. Again, you're pulling that in. Not quite as roomy as the pants, but still very roomy. And the hip has, what is that, 8 inches of positive ease. So a little more than the pants that we saw. That's the wide leg. So in these, I would make a, let's see. I guess I could size down some. This would only give me 2 inches of ease. I don't think that's enough. And this would give me 4. I could probably do a 12 to a 16 to a 20. Maybe that would be easier to do. And then they give you the bicep too. That's nice. But you'll notice here there's no information about rise. There's no leg inseam. None of that on this one like there was on the other one. Okay. All right, that's the Zadie jumpsuit. Cute. Oh, Lord. Hold on. I have to keep going back to the main page every time. If I click back, it just takes me, like, every time I tap one of those little menus to drop down, it's a new URL. So it's not difficult to navigate. It's just not super, what's the word? Like, it's not natural to me to go through that process. I just want to click back and go to where I go back to the main listing. But okay. Olya is a relaxed, loose-fitting shirt with traditional details and a classic silhouette that features unusual and innovative style lines. Olya is, or Olya, I don't know where the emphasis, which syllable gets the emphasis. It's easy to wear and designed to be a versatile wardrobe staple with longevity. There are 2 patterns included in the package. One is for the shirt. Oh, and the other is for a dress. Okay, these sit-down ones are a little bit hard to tell what's going on here. But it looks like we have a whole yoke into a grown-on sleeve with a cuff, with a button-up, with a collar and a collar stand possibly, and then just a baby hem. Okay. Oh, that looks really good standing up. Loose fitting, easy comfort, same detail in the back with the yoke, and then there's a little pleat there. There they are hanging in someone's imaginary closet. Ooh, look at it in white linen. Yes. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so the front is a full grown-on sleeve, but the back is actually not. So you need to brush up on making that square seam like she has in the tutorials. But yes, loose-fitting white linen all day. How great does that look? Are these pockets? Oh, looks like little, I guess, welt pockets? Look at it as a dress. Wow. Oh, here's the sleeve detail. There's pleats and then a full-on sleeve placket. And it has belt carriers. Love that. They did flat felled seams on this whole thing. Wow. This is a very well-made dress. All right, the sleeves are a little bit long on her. On this version. On the top, they seemed fine. But, yeah, so they're a little bit long on her there. There is also a little slit. Oh, here it is opened up like a jacket. That's cool. Fun. All right. Olya shirt dress. Shirt or shirt dress. All right, I think we found all the details. I do love this like forward shoulder notchy thing. I'm surprised you can't see it better in these stripy um, version. I guess because the stripes are, well, wait a minute. On this arm, there is I'm confused now. Yeah, well, oh, they tucked that in. I don't know if that was intentional to make it look cleaner or what, but this is not a seam right here. This was like tucked in. This is all grown on just like it is here. Interesting. Huh. Nothing gets by me, Detective Lindsay. Okay. Okay. It has all the details of a traditional Oxford shirt with a two-piece stand and collar, a front button placket, back yoke, box pleat, barrel cuff, tailored placket, double pleat at the wrist. Yep. The cut of the sleeve is unlike a regular shirt and has no front armhole, yet it does have a back armhole. This unusual geometric detail elevates the shirt into something that is interesting and design-led while also providing some hidden shaping in the front yoke seams to accommodate your bust. The dress finishes mid-calf with splits at the sides. There's also an optional belt pattern included to cinch the dress at the waist if desired. Okay. Designed for medium weight fabrics like cotton and linen and flannel, lightweight fabrics like crepe de chine, viscose, or georgette. It would also make up well in heavier fabrics like corduroy, drill, again, and lightweight denim. Knit or stretch fabrics are not recommended. Suitable for an advanced sewist, however, there are 60 step-by-step instructions to guide you through the process, so it would be the perfect project for an intermediate sewist looking to stretch their ability and learn some classic sewing skills. And honestly, like, that would be interesting to me, I think. It would be one of those patterns that's like a bit of a challenge, especially to execute, so well that you end up with something that looks like this professional and this, expensive. So that would be a fun, like, hunker down weekend project for someone like me. Okay, here's the sizing charts. What do we get here? Okay, not much. The waist is very roomy. What? I'm getting 17 3/4 of an inch waist. Wow. That's a lot of ease. Especially because the hip only gets 8.5 inches of ease. I'm wondering if that's another mistake or... And then the bust gets 11.5 inches, or 11. It varies as the sizes go up. I'm only basing this off of a 6. I mean, was the waist really that big? Wasn't there one of her? No. So there's really not one of her just standing with it unbuttoned, or standing with it buttoned. This is just too hard to tell because she's using her hands to kind of tuck it in, I guess. These are tucked in, tucked in, tucked in. The belt on that one. I mean, there's this one. I guess there's a chance there's that much room, especially because the back is especially roomy. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it is, if you look at this, it is a very straight, boxy type of design. So, maybe. Okay. All right, I'll take your word for it, internet. Okay. Next up, we have, and that one was almost $20 US. Yeah. So I guess those 60 some odd steps and all those details cost a little bit more. Okay. Which, you know what, I appreciate. I appreciate the fact that there's a difference in an elasticated waist price versus this highly detailed, Oxford shirt dress. I think that more time and energy went into this for her than these, so the price should reflect accordingly, right? That makes sense to me in my consumer mind. Let's see. Next up, okay, we have the LB Pullover. And this one is just under 14 bucks. So, available in sizes 6 to 28. The LB Pullover is quick and easy to sew jumper, aka sweater for those of us in the US, with full-length sleeves designed to be made in low-stretch fabric or woven. It comes with two options. A is a turtleneck, B is regular crew neck. The body is cut wide and boxy with relaxed fit and low drop shoulders. The drop shoulders enable the style to have ample room around the bicep but still allow the sleeves to be cut straight and slim, so you have the golden combination of comfort without being swamped in fabric. Okay, I like the promise of that. And the jumper still looks polished. Okay, so here she is in her turtleneck and her grown-on sleeve. Can't see much else. Okay. I would say no, she's not necessarily swimming in fabric, but there's definitely some room there. The crew neck looks beautiful. That neckband is drafted really beautifully. Ooh, this one is nice. I know they're going all artsy on these pictures and stuff with the lighting and all, but it's really kind of hard to tell what's going on. But that looks like somebody who is like an artist or, I don't know, a very eccentric type of person. Very chic. Very, like, too cool. That's the vibe I'm getting. I mean, it looks really comfortable. The striped version especially. I think the striped version is some kind of jersey or something. But this, like, doesn't it look like something that would be in a magazine for, like, Architectural Digest? Like, and she's the architect. She's the architect. And so I know a lot of you were commenting on the, oh Lord, what is that the sleeveless rib knit turtleneck? There's like a little mock turtleneck that I made earlier this year about how you can't have anything around your neck. It feels too constricting. This feels like you would get the look of a turtleneck, but it's not like actually on your neck, Like it is in the back, but in the front it kind of falls forward a little bit, giving you that room so you don't feel like you're being choked. And then here she is doing her architectural drawings. Okay, here it is, the LB pullover. Not much to it, pretty basic. The LB pullover is quick and easy to sew jumper with full length. Oh, we already read all that. Recommended fabric. Almost anything. This pattern was designed with low, medium stretch fabric in mind, like sweatshirting, knitted jersey, or ponte. However, it is cut with enough ease and a wide neck so it can be made in a woven fabric and looks beautiful in linen, which is what this first version was. Ability level, absolute beginner, quick sew. The LB pullover only requires seaming the pieces together and hemming. No zips, buttons, or difficult techniques. Okay. 6 to 28, and everything overlaps. Okay, got it. Here is the body measurement chart. So yeah, very, very roomy. What is this? 9 inches in the bust, 14, almost 15 inches in the waist, and well, only 4 3/4, and I say only. So definitely slimmer in the hip, which I think is what is going to make it more flattering, that you don't have so much ease in the hip. But it's definitely a roomy bust, roomy waist. Which there aren't any pictures of her, like all of these are close up on the bust. I'd like to see the waist, like actually, or the hip, how it actually fits around the hip. You know, there's actually no picture of the whole thing. This is the closest, and half of it is being taken up by her leg. And the pants are black, so I can't even tell where it ends, even if I wanted to. So I appreciate the artsy pictures, but I think that there needs to be like one or two also that just show the clothes for like those of us who are a little bit more analytical about fit and stuff. Okay. Oh, look, here's a little thing. Back to PDF pattern. Nope, it didn't take me back to PDF patterns. Let's try again. Oh, wait. Ah, it worked. Okay. All right, next up we have the Kabuki Tee. 14 bucks. That's pretty sleeve. That's a real pretty sleeve. Okay. Available in 6 to 28, the Kabuki Tee is a modern, oversized t-shirt designed to look relaxed and feel easy to wear in a woven fabric without restricting movement. The body is much wider than a regular t-shirt, and the sleeves are longer than normal, sitting just above the elbow. With the angular kimono armholes being its hallmark feature. The neckline has a hidden binding to complement its minimalist design. That's the neckline binding. And the hem turn-ups are extra deep to emphasize its boxy silhouette. So this is like a super deep, maybe 1 inch hem, maybe a little bit more. Those sleeves are amazing. But again, with that right angle seam, that is a little bit tricky. And it's in the back too. You get lots of practice. It looks like the sleeve hems are just as deep as the bottom hem. There it is in a knit. I can't say that that's my favorite. I kind of love it in whatever fabric this is. There it is in linen. Boy, they love them some all natural fabrics, right? That's really cool though. Techniques involved. You will learn to make your own bias binding and apply it to the neckline. The armholes are square and sewing right angles may be a new technique for some beginner sewists. However, there is a video on the Paper Theory blog to guide those who are unfamiliar with this technique. Okay. Pattern was designed with a woven fabric with linen or cotton in mind and worked equally well in something light and drapey like crepe de chine or silk. So maybe this isn't jersey. I don't know what it is then. Ability level, advanced to beginner, sizing information. Okay, for reference, and I think that this little section was missing from the past couple of patterns that we looked at, which I love this, so I want to see this in all of them. Okay, for reference, the main model picture here is 5'5" with a 32A bust, the model with long straight hair. She's wearing a size 8. Oh, they don't give the fabric that they use. Darn. I did like that so much. Okay, body measurement chart. So, oh gosh, this math is just like killing my brain. I know it doesn't seem hard to you guys, but what is that? 11 and some odd inches in the bust. And then very roomy waist again. Gosh, what is that, 17 inches? And then the hip is a little bit slimmer at 7-inch ease. But I also think that this finish is higher, you know, this is kind of like a high hip hem length. Even on her, you can tell it's I mean, maybe her high hip is like right here, but her full hip is way down here. So you wouldn't use your actual hip measurement. You would try and find your high hip measurement on this one. Okay. So that thing only works the second time that you tap it. I don't understand why, but that's how it works. All right, and then they have a free pattern. Like I said, in the cake patterns had a free one too, and I was like, oh, we're gonna see so many free patterns with these indies, and then we haven't seen any until now, and this is like what, our 5th one that we've done. I do find that a lot of indie companies do offer free patterns so you can get a feel for their instructions. So I'm going to download this so that none of you can see any of the information I have to put in. I'll be back and we'll look at the pattern PDF instructions together. Okay, downloaded the pattern, took like 30 seconds, no big deal. And this is what the instructions look like. And I'm assuming, obviously, that this is what all of her instructions look like. And all the same information is provided pattern to pattern. So you get the same pattern information that we already, well, we didn't actually look through it, did we? Maybe we should do that first. I don't normally review undergarments, but considering this is the free pattern and I do want to see what the instructions are like, we'll look through this one really quickly. Okay, the Stevie Knickers are a medium rise basic knicker which are cut slightly higher at the back of the hips to provide complete coverage of your bottom. They scoop down slightly at the front, sitting below your stomach to provide a more flattering line. The pattern features a double gusset with enclosed seams for comfort. The waist and leg openings are edged with elastic. They are suitable for beginner and quick sew. Stash buster, perfect way to use your scraps if you have a leftover t-shirt or vest, or anything from a jersey fabric. Who has a jersey vest? Just lying around. Or is vest like a word for like something else? Like how they have jumpers for sweaters? Again, my British friends, please let me know. Or any fabric that has a 20% stretch to it. Those small pieces will be suitable for the knickers. Woven non-stretch fabrics are not suitable. It's for a beginner. And then here are the pattern details. And we get one photo showing the outside. And you can see how the front is cut a little bit lower there. And how the back is roomier. And then this is the inside. No, that's the outside. Or is that the inside? Oh, black is so hard. I think that's the inside. And this is the little gusset that she wants us to see with the enclosed seams. I think. Okay, so back to the instructions. Yeah, so same description, same fabric description. These are your supplies. So she goes through the specific elastic that you need. Thread, tools. Seam allowance already included. Seam allowance is 1 centimeter on all joining seams. So this is the measurement chart. Oh, UK size. So that's centimeters. Okay, so we'll have to, those of us in the US will have to do our little conversions. Or maybe, no, there was no measurement chart on the description. There's a step-by-step video tutorial on YouTube. There's also step-by-step photographs and notes over on the Paper Theory website. Search the paper section of the blog or look up that thing. Both methods are the same. One is video and one is photos. That's kind of nice. I know a lot of you prefer video, which is why you're here. But sometimes photos are nice too. And then this is the print at home. So that's really it. You have to go to this. Maybe I should sew, or maybe I should look up this paper section of the blog, because I thought the blog was like kind of outdated. Learn, blog, blog posts. I don't see a paper section. Right? Does she want me to type in paper? Yeah. Oh, here's another page. Yeah, I don't see that. Okay, so then here's the page not found. Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's see about this YouTube video. I think something with her blog must have broken. And, so.
Hi, I'm Tara from Paper Theory.
Oh,
and
hi,
today
Tara.
I'm going to show you how to sew a pair of knickers.
I think she's wearing that jumper.
Pants, as they call them in the UK, panties, America, undies, New Zealand.
Cute. So here she, yeah, she's doing a full overhead video tutorial. All right, so that is Paper Theory. Not a ton of patterns, but I do feel like there's a lot of information on each one. Although the instructions that we looked at for the underwear is not, I think, reflective of what you would expect. Maybe these first few pages are, but after that, I think you can expect a lot more illustrations and step-by-step instructions in this file. But the patterns themselves, I feel like completely mimic and resemble the description that she had on the front page of her website. You know, if we go back to that, yeah, all of this information here about her patterns, how they are heavily inspired by the workshop wardrobes of the most prominent female painters, sculptors, writers, and crafters of our time. Like, I totally see that now that I've looked at all the patterns. Remember when I was talking about the woman being an architect? Like, that's what this is, I feel like. So I appreciate that her vision matches these statements. The patterns match what she's describing them as. You know, she's not trying to be someone who's making anything other than what this description is, and that is what is demonstrated in her patterns. So I think that's really, really great in terms of a, business mindset, putting out a mission statement and then following through with that, I think is great. Especially for a company that's just one person. I mean, it's just her. Anytime that there's like, got any questions about, billing, questions about patterns, questions about, it's all her email. So she handles it all. So yeah, I'm a fan. I definitely want to try that pattern with the like fluttery sleeve, with the square, and see how that goes. That would be fun. Something new and different for my wardrobe. So let me know what you guys think of Paper Theory. If you've ever made any of their patterns, please let me know that as well. What you thought, how it fit, how much you love it, all that kind of stuff. But that is going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.